straight to breaking news coming to us from the Metropolitan Police, because they have just said that a car has collided with the front gates of Downing Street. Just that one line. These the live pictures now. That is a picture of Whitehall. You can see the traffic moving right to left and left to right, but further down, just at the top of the picture, that's the Cenotaph, and that area is where Downing Street is, just to the left of there. And we can't actually see the gates of Downing Street, but Whitehall closed by police as they deal with this incident. No other real detail apart from that one line, a car colliding with the front gates of Downing Street. But you will know, in terms of your familiarity with Downing Street, the whole area, the entrance into Downing Street, a huge metal gate with heavy security that has been in place for a number of years. You used to be able to walk down Downing Street, but not for certainly over a decade. That huge metal gate and security, well, a car colliding into that gate. No other word in terms of the nature of what has happened, but that clearly being investigated as we speak. And I'm watching these live pictures as you are from the scene, as details come in to me, and certainly the car has driven into the gates. That is what the police say. What we of course don't know is in terms of the nature of that, and whether the police are still dealing with the cause of that. Certainly, of course, lots of camera crews heading down there and journalists asking questions, but we're across, of course, that story that is coming to us from police, that you can see those police vehicles both sides of the Cenotaph with the road blocked off. The police vehicles just as that police operation continuing. And you can't, I don't think, as I squint at these pictures myself, trying to see if I can actually see the car itself, but that one line from the police that a car has gone into the gate. And as I'm telling you that, I'm also hearing that one arrest has just been made. So that operation is clearly ongoing, and the facts coming in as we speak to you. You can see that very, very busy area of central London. That is, in terms of the geography of what you're looking at, that is Whitehall. Now, just where the Cenotaph is in the foreground, and then you see the statue further down, that is where the entrance to Downing Street is. That is where the security gate is, that heavy iron security gate. That is where the car has gone into. But we are hearing that one arrest has been made, no injuries after the car collided with the gate. Now, just to the foreground of those pictures that you're seeing to the right is where the Houses of Parliament are situated. So it just gives you an idea of the sort of geography, and that whole area, of course, heavy security in that central district of Westminster, between Downing Street and Westminster and the Houses of Parliament. The regular shuttling between the Prime Minister's office and residence to the Houses of Parliament, and of course down Whitehall, all of the government offices building. But clearly it is Downing Street that is the centre of what has happened here. It is very much in its early stages, early minutes, but no injuries, just worth repeating, no injuries, but one arrest after a car has collided with a gate there, the gate at Downing Street. So those the early details, the first detail coming to us from the police itself. But of course, the nature of what we're dealing with, we don't know, but it is clearly a security alert, and hence the nature of the closure of Whitehall. And there you see the police cars both in the foreground and towards the top of the picture. Nikki Schiller is our reporter in the newsroom, also pulling together the strands of what he is learning, and our colleagues as we make calls here to find out a little more. Nikki, tell us a little more, anything more that you know.
Yes, Matthew, as you say, it has only broken in the last few minutes that a Met Police spokesman has confirmed, as you've been saying, that a car collided with the front gates of Downing Street. Downing Street have also confirmed that it happened, but they have no more information at the moment. They are, of course, looking into what has happened. You can see on the pictures there is a police cordon there in Westminster at the moment, of course, as more information comes in. A car driven in. We don't know what this is about at the moment. We should make that clear. We don't have any information on why it has happened or how it has happened, other than that police have confirmed that a car has driven into the front gates of Downing Street. As you can imagine, and as you can see on those pictures, the whole of the area has been closed off by police. There are plenty of pictures of police activity at the scene and on social media, as you can imagine.
And Nikki, as you're talking to us, more detail coming in of a car, a white car, apparently pictured in front of the gates, the boot open. Now that may be part of the police operation itself, but certainly on social media that picture is circulating of a white vehicle pictured in front of the gates with the boot currently up, but that operation is still going on. Now, Nick Eardley, our political correspondent, is there on the ground in Whitehall, so I'm going to cross to him. And Nick, tell us what you are finding out about what we're dealing with and what we're seeing.
Yeah, hi Matthew. Details of this are coming through quite slowly. I'm just going to pop out the way actually so you can see the scene behind us. About 50 metres from where we are is that white car with the boot open. There have been police sniffer dogs going through it in the last few minutes. Police aren't saying anything to us here officially on the scene at the moment. I have talked to a couple of people who are in Downing Street at the moment. They have been told to stay indoors, not to leave their office. It sounds like they've been told a vehicle is smashed into the gates. We can see that, so we know that that's happened. What we don't know at the moment is exactly why that's happened, what the run-up to it was. But what I can tell you is that most of Whitehall, the main street between Trafalgar Square and Parliament, has been closed off for the last few minutes. You can possibly see in the shot there are quite a lot of police about just now, armed police at the scene. That car is still sitting with its boot open, and staff in Downing Street, and actually in some of the, just looking at my messages again, in some of the surrounding buildings are being told not to leave their buildings at the moment.
Nick, I'm sure it is the camera crew that you're with, but they were just showing us the first pictures from on the ground of that car that you were just describing, and if they can hear me as I'm talking, yes, they've returned the focus there. There is the car. So we were looking a little earlier at the top shot, the high camera shot, but we're seeing there the pictures on the left of your screen, the passenger car that we're talking about, the white car that you can see very clearly is pointing towards the gates of Downing Street. That's the entrance to Downing Street. That entrance has that big metal security gate, and that's what the car seems to have gone into. And as Nick was just describing, the boot open, yeah, but that police operation still very much clearly ongoing, Nick.
Yeah, I've just actually had an update from the Met Police in the last few seconds, Matthew. Let me just quickly read this to you. Around 16:20 hours, a car collided with the gates of Downing Street on Whitehall. Armed officers arrested a man at the scene on suspicion of criminal damage and dangerous driving. This statement that's just come in from the Met Police adds, there are no reports of any injuries at the moment and inquiries are ongoing. So in the past minute, literally the past minute, the Met confirming that someone has been arrested at this scene on suspicion of criminal damage and dangerous driving. That happened about half an hour ago, just up from the pictures you're looking at the moment on Downing Street, where the Prime Minister, we think he's there this afternoon actually, and staff have been told to stay in the building just now while the police search that car and while their inquiries continue.